you sure he cannot lock the wheel?
No lock.
That's all wheel, right? All wheel here. Because it's easier when only one axle steers. Shall we turn off the engine?
You ready to put the cab?
No.
No?
Maybe 1 hour, half an hour?
But boost machine is not, the battery is
oh, the battery
low.
is bad, low?
It's bad. This is turn.
Yeah, let it turn. Let it run, okay.
Your name?
Yeah, Sergey.
Okay, your name?
Oh, like this. That's my company.
Okay, good.
My company is my name.
Okay, good.
I just one guy, one truck. So
Okay.
it's me.
It's good.
Yeah. Small company. Yeah, so you see what we did. So the guys are very nice. It's just we have a communication problem, but it was very easy with the excavator. See, I detached, and it's always easier from this side, you know, when you come right from the back and you just lower it and then maybe push it a little bit or pull it, you know, and then you see. And still, for one guy, for me, it was difficult. Like I put this pin in, but the other one didn't want to go. And let me just record this. Record this. Oh wow, check this out. My airbags are all maxed out. We're gonna so that's the machine. Actually, it's not CAT. I'm not sure why they. I guess they're the dealer. So it's called Weiler. So it has a blade in the front and it has this huge grapple hook over here. So usually I know they use them in the field when like, you know, an excavator with a special attachment cuts trees, and then this thing just grabs the trees and it can drag them. And look at the tires. The tires are monstrous, right? Huge tires. All right, so let me just put some chains on. So it's 50,000 pounds. So how many chains we need? One pair is good for 20,000. 2 pairs is 40. So 4 chains is not enough, even on this machine. So I'm gonna put 6. I'm gonna put 2 in the front, 2 in the back, maybe 2 in the middle, and then you have to secure the blade. And then you have to secure this, like put a chain or something or a strap around it, just so that cops see that it's secured. But that's why I couldn't understand I couldn't explain to the guy. He says, "You want to put this down?" I said, "No, I have chains there." I said, "Leave it up. I'm gonna put chains on, and then come back after like 30 minutes, 1 hour, and then we're gonna put it down." All right. It's snowing. I don't think I can even travel in this kind of weather. And there's snow on the ground. So the machine is on, I'm hooked, the neck is up. So we load it like this. And yeah, this guy, we had a very difficult time communicating. Very nice machine. I like it. Like it was crawling, you know. Even without the boards, I should have put shorter boards in there, but yeah, I did not know where it's gonna end up, you know. But I knew that I want this as close to the rear as possible, because I decided to run like this. I'm not gonna put down my my neck, otherwise I'm too long. I'll need pilots, escorts. And of course the booster pushes weight forward, so we load it like this. So it's articulated, so you have to lock that thing over there, the red bar, with a couple of pins. And that sound is I just increased the height of my main airbags over here, so the trailer is compensating. Because when I was driving empty, I had very little pressure. Maybe now it's a bit too much, we'll see. Yeah, a bit too much. So let's go hole 7. Hold on. It goes down, and so what this does, so this puts air in these airbags, So now these airbags will become taller because, yeah, I don't like this one. This one means too much pressure, too much weight here. And these airbags will become shorter, and so they will be equal. So that's the whole idea, right? Technically, you're supposed to measure the distance from the top of the shaft of the axle to the bottom of this flange, you know, but it's much faster for me. That's what I do, and I recommend this method. Just look at your airbags, you know, approximately. You can see right away, you know, the size of airbags on the booster and on the trailer. If the difference is too big, you gotta change something. But of course now I'm probably out of air because the engine is not running. And of course this is now check out that bad boy over there. What is it? 988H. Now that's a monster. And over here they have some, you see, they have more forestry machines, because of course this is northern, well, we are 2 hours north of Quebec City. But this is a huge loader, very tall. So for this one you definitely need something like a drop side rail, or probably even a beam trailer. I don't know. And this one also some kind of specialized Cat 538. So it's probably, it's not an excavator, it's like a forestry machine. I look at the tracks. The tracks of those grousers are pretty big. And I hold a couple of these in the past, these mine trucks, like a mine loader where the operator sits sideways. And what's funny, in Quebec each machine must have a license plate, believe it or not. See this? I don't think you see this anywhere else in US or Canada, but Quebec insists that each construction machine, be it a roller, dozer, excavator, must be licensed with the Department of Motor Vehicles, or whatever it's their Ministry of Transportation called here. All right, so I still don't have my permit. That's the problem. So now I gotta find a place where to park. I'll probably, you know, there's a gate there, and these guys don't speak any English. It's so difficult to communicate, you know. One guy came out, he was helping me with you know, trying to put in the pin in the flip box, and it's sitting sideways, and the guy, I cannot explain to him, he knows like 2 words in English, the operator of the machine. Like, nice guy, you know. They will probably blame me, saying, hey, this stupid guy from Ontario doesn't speak any French, right? So but what the French speaking people often misunderstand is that Canada is bilingual, and bilingual means that each language, 2 official languages, French and English, so each language has equal weight, equal value. So as long as you speak one of these languages, nobody can harass you. So what that means is that we cannot complain about French speaking people speaking only French, because French is the one of the official languages, right? And they cannot complain about us speaking only English, because, you know, you come here and they, oh, you should learn a bit of French. Like, why? I'm perfectly fine with English. It's an official language, right? You speak your French, I'll speak my English. So that's what we have here, like a very weird situation. So it's not like one language is primary in this and the other one is secondary. Both languages have equal weight, like I said. So nobody, for example, if the French guy from Quebec shows up in Ontario and tries to order a cup of coffee in French and they don't speak French, they cannot refuse service or something like that, because it's an official language. But by the same token, if I don't speak French, they cannot say anything to me, you know. And so now that's out of the way, that's complicated problem. I think it's a mess. It should be, I think there should be one official language, you know, maybe Turkish. Make it Turkish so that English people and French people are not offended. Like make it a third-party language, like, or maybe what was that artificial language? Esperanto. I tried to learn that one when I was in university. You know, there's a couple of artificial languages that were created by you know, scholars and scientists. And so yeah, so I'm trying to put in the pin, and that guy's helping me, so he's kind of like acting as my translator, because this younger guy seems to understand a little bit what I'm trying to tell him. I said, a bit this way, go up, you know, go down. And I'm on the top shouting to him, he's shouting to the to the excavator guy. And then everything is done, so of course I show the universal signal, cool, you know, like two thumbs up, great job. Release the chain, he drives away, and then I turn to the younger guy and I say, you see, two people are better than one. And he looks at me, no clue what I'm talking about. I said, two people are better than one. And then for some reason I remember the word, I know, assistance. It's like assistance. And I said, you assistance, you know. Basically, thank you for your service, you know, thank you for your help. But he could not understand what I tried to say, you know, like two minds better than one. But I was trying to be funny. I said two men are better than one, but he doesn't understand. So, but it's like, you know, most people are, you know, good natured about this, right? So we're just trying to communicate, we're trying to get a job done. So, but the closer you are to Montreal, like Montreal, lots of people speak English. But as soon as you go towards Quebec City, and now I'm 2 hours north of Quebec City, mamma mia, you know. So you might as well speak Italian or Russian, you know. They will not, or English, doesn't matter for them. So it's basically, once you hear, it's all about gestures, you know. And then of course I know oui, non, je ne pas parler français, I don't speak French. They always start laughing when you say that. Like, you don't speak French, then why do you say you don't speak French in French? So you do speak French. Non, je ne pas parler français. Is that correct? Je ne pas, or je ne, I forget. Anyway, I know bonjour, café, si, no, that's Spanish. Oui. What's funny in French, they say bonjour both as hi and bye. You know, bonjour, you're going away, or you're coming. Bonjour. Funny. Anyway, so yeah, you see, I've been here. I was just waiting for this. I need 2 hours off. I need to show 2 hours off, and I was sitting and waiting for the permit because I slept. I spent only 8 hours in the sleeper because this is Canada, so it's allowed. So I woke up at 4:15, 15 minutes after 4, and 5 o'clock I'm on the road driving east towards Quebec City. And I slept at the big Irving truck stop in Saint-Les-Bois, which is like 2 hours west of Quebec City. And then it was 2 hours to Quebec City, and then 2 hours north, and it's like mountains in there. Yeah, this is not good, you know. And of course today's Wednesday, so tomorrow I double check with my permit lady, and she says, yeah, Thursday, Friday there's no travel, not just like after lunchtime or something. No, Thursday, that's it. It's officially Thanksgiving in the States, so I cannot enter US. But from here it's about 250 miles or something. So basically what I can do is I can slowly, once the weather improves, I can slowly start driving towards Maine in US 201. But I don't know, like, no, I'm not supposed to drive like this. You cannot drive with an oversized load when, you know, first off, it's reduced visibility, Second, it can be slippery. And main thing is I cannot go because I don't have the permit. And they were like, these guys can only work with of course my permit company is in Iowa, so they don't do Quebec themselves. They kind of like use a local company. And I know one company that I worked with before. I know these guys are very knowledgeable, and I asked them, I said, who are you working with? And they tell me the name, and it's a different company. And those guys yesterday started insisting that I need some kind of registration number from Quebec, kind of like a business tax number. And they always ask you for this when they don't know what they're talking about. I said, I'm from Ontario. I don't have a yard here. I don't have a business here. I don't have a plate on the truck from Quebec. I am Ontario. I have an international registration plan, IRP, for the plate. And tax, like, I don't need anything. No, we don't. We think you, like, they're saying that you need some, some special number, registration number. And they said, if you had the permits issued here before, can you send us a copy? And so I went back. I keep all the records. I can find all the loads, probably starting from October 17 when I started doing this. I have everything by the month, by the year, and then inside the month I have everything by the company, by the broker name. And so if I remember approximately when I did that load, I can go, like, for example, I know that in May this year, I was in Halifax loading that 100,000 pound track from a crawler crane, right? And for that one, I needed permits for Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Quebec. And I used this other company, and so no issues. I had the permit, and so I found that permit in May 2020 folder and emailed it to them. Basically, shut up. I don't need anything. So Wednesday, like, I can wait here till Friday, and there's a bunch of scales here. There's actually one scale was open, and I'm driving with a booster, and they have 2 lanes, and one lane says, like, I know it basically in French it looks like the English word charged, like charged, and in the court, charged, found guilty. So charged, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically and there's a picture underneath, of a truck with goods on the bed, and then on the left it says something, blah, I forgot the word, but there's a picture of an empty truck. And so basically they're saying the left lane is for empty trucks, the right lane is for loaded trucks. And even though you don't speak French, but if you come here more often, you start by association, like, you see the situation, you see the picture, so then you understand that term, that means empty truck. And so now I know. And so speed limit 10 kilometers an hour, 6 miles an hour, and you have to stop. There's a stop sign, and I stop, and I'm thinking, that's it, now they're gonna give me a ticket for having the booster on the ground. No, the light just started blinking, go, like straight arrow, go straight. And I left. But on the other side there's also a scale, but now I'm loaded, and there's one big one just north of Quebec City. But yeah, this spot here, so this is Chicoutimi. It's called Chicoutimi, Quebec. To get from here to Quebec City, this is like, I don't know, like US 15 in Pennsylvania, and New York. No, yeah, New York and Pennsylvania, all those hills in there and turns. It's something like that, except it's worse. At least there's a truck stop there, well, like a rest area. I think it's like an hour away here. I would love to sit there. It's very quiet. There's bathrooms, there's a general store, like a grocery store, convenience store, and then there's a restaurant, but all seating is closed, of course, because again it's and you're driving and you see a sign, it says COVID, and underneath it says zone, probably it's zone A, I don't know, zone rouge. And of course I know from the wine, rouge is red, right? So it basically COVID-19, a red zone. And so now pretty much all Canada here switching from yellow to red, and that's how they do it here. So as soon as they see more cases, they change to this predetermined, what they call zone. So red means that if it's red zone, that's it. So only takeout in restaurants, no gyms, no movie theaters, no sitting area anywhere, but coffee shops and restaurants are open, but again, takeout only. If it's yellow, like it was before, just last week it was yellow, but then we started getting cases, and so they switched to red, rouge. And yellow, they were limiting, like they threw out half of the tables, right? And you had to wear a mask when you walk in, but then once you're eating, you can of course take it off. But if you leave the table to go to the bathroom, you have to wear your mask. But you know, I got used to that one, and you can sit in the coffee shop, but now that's it. So now again, just before I left yesterday, I went to Starbucks, and I see again no tables. No, I mean there are tables, but no chairs. They moved away all chairs, and each table has a sign, this table is closed. How can you close the table? I don't know. You see? Anyway, I'm probably gonna go and ask him. But now there's a guy parked there. He's trying to fix. What is he fixing there? He's fixing a either excavator or that cat rental power. Yeah, and I cannot film now outside, right? Because it's snowing. But you saw the machine, right? Oh, and I hope it recorded when I was loading, right? Yeah, it's except, you know, one difficulty was this thing is a four-wheel steer. I hate these, you know, and it's of course it's articulated machine. Actually, wait a second. It's not steer. I don't think it's steers actually. Yeah, there's no gears on the axles. Like there's no steer, you know, bar. So yeah, it steers by articulating. And somehow I didn't get that, and I was talking to the guy trying to explain, hey, can you change to two-wheel steer? And he looked at me. I said, not four, two. Can you make two-wheel steer like a car? Because actually, you know, some machines that are not articulated, but you know that they have four-wheel steer, and it can go sideways. Some machines like this, like what is called Zoom Boom, some of those is pretty cool. You can lock one axle, you know, and let's say you can leave the front axle, make it steerable, and lock the rear axle, so the rear axle is straight and it's locked, so it does not steer. You know, that makes it so much easier to load, because that's usually what I do. If I have to load something like that, I always ask them, where's the switch? How do I lock the rear axle? I don't need it for steering, because yeah, then it goes sideways, right? One part goes this way, the other part goes that way. It's crazy. So, wow, look at that tire in the mirror. Huge. But it's a nice load. Nice load. I climbed on the deck, didn't climb on the top, but I measured the height, 13.6. We're good. So it's 12 feet wide, legal height. And I hope I'm not too heavy, but now my pusher is up, you see? With the pusher up, that's too much. That's what, 67, 80 psi, that's too much. So I'm gonna put the pusher down, and that's gonna take the weight from from drives and from the steer. And what are they doing there? Oh, they're just driving out a big cat 980. Yeah, 980G. It was in the repair shop. All right, let me go talk to them, see if what they want me to do, like, because now I cannot leave. That guy is blocking the exit. And they do have a parking lot there right in front of this building. This is a cat, Toramont cat. And they were parking there, but it's not very big. I'm gonna go ask them, and of course I cannot drive without the permit. But I'm pretty sure I cannot sit here because they have a gate, and now it's this COVID-19 restrictions. I have to be outside of the gate. Just gonna go figure out where to sit and where to get food. But this is a little town. There's actually, when I was turning, there's a big intersection. I saw some gas stations, some stores, so I'll just walk somewhere there and get some food. And also I noticed, I was driving here and I started noticing restriction on the fuel filter, and I wanted to buy fuel filters. Actually, I went to the Kenworth and I was asking them about this. I wrote down the fuel filter numbers, and the one I have, what I wrote down, they have G at the end because they're biodiesel kind of like version. And the guy had the same, see this, so one is 25 microns, the top one, and the bottom one is 10 microns. So both of them work, but they have G. So this is Fleet Guard, and the guy had these, but he says the ones I have, they don't have the G at the end, and I don't know what G means. And I said, I just told you, G means biodiesel. So it's meant for the biodiesel. And so I wanted to ask these guys, you know, sometimes CAT has a pot store, right? And because they deal with all this machinery, and sometimes they have rock trucks, right? So so sometimes they have this, because I just want to get a filter in case, because it's already getting like 3 and 4 restriction, you know. Like once it hits 5, that's it, that's bad. But like right now it's in the middle between 0 and 5 when I'm driving. But I could feel I was losing power. A cool looking truck, you know. Yeah, these guys over here in Quebec, they like the Western Stars. Yeah, sorry, see, oh, I'll have to clean the, of course, the windshield wipers. So this guy just showed up. So it's a Western Star, long wheelbase classic truck, set forward axle, and he's loading like a big dozer. I forgot the make and model, but so he parked like this. Of course now I cannot leave, but very nice guy, and he has a pilot from the same company. See the name on the door, and then all the truck is the same as the name on the door of a pickup truck with lights that gonna escort this guy. And so basically I went and I said, you know, I'm not sure about Quebec. I know, you know, in some states in US, if it's snowing like this, you're not supposed to drive, you're not supposed to be on the road with an oversized load. But I asked the pilot driver, I said, do you speak any English? Of course, that was a stupid idea. They always say no, right? And I said, I just want to ask a question. He says, ask this guy, the driver of the truck. And so the driver speaks more or less, okay? And I asked him, and I said, you know, can we drive? And he said, he will drive, but he's not going too far. And he says, he's always driving like this. He says, usually they look at the visibility. And as you can see, so that's the road over there, and I see a snowplow just pass, so the visibility is not too bad. And actually it was not, like, once you get south, it did not snow. It only started snowing once I'm here. And looking at this guy, it reminded me that I need to have a light in the back. And I checked the scales, like that scale where they pulled me in, empty, that I was telling you about, where I went in the left lane. It's still open, shows as open on tracker path. It's just, but that's like northbound, and then the southbound scale is closed. And actually this guy says, and there's a one that's always open or often is open is Quebec City, just north of Quebec City. And this guy says, are you going towards Quebec City? And I knew, I said, no, I'm not gonna go that far. I said, forget it, I'm just gonna stop at this next rest area about 1 hour south, because I'm not gonna make it. It's 220, right? From here to a US border, it's about 4 hours if I drive non-stop, which I cannot do, and I cannot drive after dark. See, it's already 2:30, right? Almost 2:30, so it's gonna be dark in like 2 hours. Yeah, sunset is very early here, but good thing is the sunrise is also early. Like when I started driving at 5, I think yeah, the sunrise was like 6:45, because now we are on winter time, right? We switched forward. But if this was like real old time, it would, the sunrise would be at 7:45, but it was at 6:45 because I'm driving and I see my tablet changing to daylight colors. I like that, you know, that's my always my indication that now it's officially sunrise, and then I keep my headlights for another 30 minutes and I can shut them off. But yeah, one thing I gotta do, so I gotta clean my wipers. I checked all my chains and binders once I lifted this thing, and I'm gonna put the pusher down. But yeah, I don't want to go through any scales with this thing. It's so wide, you know. Don't want to attract attention. I got flags, I got signs, D signs, and so basically I'll just take it slow, and what was it, Thursday, Friday I cannot drive in Maine, so I'll have to find a truck stop. I think there's a small truck stop not too far from the border there, like half an hour from the border, but I need to do research on that one. So for now, that's it. I'm tired, you know. I started working at 5 o'clock, so it's, you know, 5 to 2:30, right? So it's like a full day. And before the snow becomes any worse, because you never know with this thing, so I just need to get out of here and go south. So south definitely is better. The weather is better. So yeah. Oh, but what I started to say, and of course I get distracted all the time, I need lights. I need lights in the back, and these guys over here they don't recognize your bumper lights. The light has to be, I think it's like 3 feet or 1 meter or something, but that's why all these local guys, they all have, you know, lights in the bumper of the trailer, like flashing lights, but they all have, all you need is one. They have like a one you know, metal post, and I think it has to be like 1 meter off the ground, and so they have that one post with the light, with a rotating or flashing light, whatever, because that's what's required in Quebec. Ah, nice. He just grabbed from the back of his sleeper, he just grabbed a D sign, but it's not a plastic one like what I have, but it's a piece of a board, you know, like a long piece of a board with a D sign, and he has special receptacles in there, like a couple of brackets where that thing just goes in, and then he just attached a couple of bungee cords. Took him, I don't know, 20 seconds, you know. Yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't think I can do it on my truck. But I know most of the time I keep my oversized load sign, because especially when I have a Jeep and the booster, which I am allowed to drive like that in Ontario, so I always have a sign. So I know a buddy who painted oversized load on his bumper, but you can get a ticket like that because if you don't need it, you're not supposed to have it. So yeah, okay, so I have these magnetic lights somewhere there. I just need to find them and go and put them on the back somewhere there.